As you get into multiple colour printing, one of the really important things about litho is to ensure that your imagery and your printing plate line up. Now, we talked about the idea early on about ensuring that your acetates are placed in the correct position in relationship to the litho. Here, an old strip of litho plate is being used to measure the distance between the edge of the press and the edge of the image. This is checked a few times to ensure that the imagery will line up before the plate is then clamped. The inking process is an important part of lithography, and it's a slow build-up of ink that you have to achieve. You use font solution, which you'll find in the buckets near the litho ink. A sponge is usually provided in the bucket. Rinse out the majority of the font solution from the sponge and lightly coat the plate. You're now using the rubber-based ink, which you'll find just round the corner from the litho presses. Obviously, you pre-mix your colour to whatever colour you wish. In this instance, it's going to be a very transparent sort of blue-purple. The roller has to be sufficient, ideally, to cover the whole image in a single roll, but you're having to build up very thin transparent layers. So you roll the plate a few times, then you damp the plate again, and you can continue to roll. It's really important that you keep the surface of your litho plate damp. Otherwise, what will happen is that areas of your plate that shouldn't be inked up start to pick up ink. You can rectify this by inking the plate very quickly. This usually takes ink off the plate. And if the plate does scum up, you also have the correcting pens which you can use to modify your area. This particular print took about 4 ink rollings to get the ink to the right strength. Of course, having inked up your plate, you may realise that the colour you've just mixed up might be the wrong colour for the print. In that instance, you'll have to take the ink off the plate and re-ink the plate with a new colour. We'll talk about cleaning the litho plates up in another video. You never fully know what you've got until you've actually printed it. Once you think your plate is at the right strength, you need to clean the bed of the press. Inevitably, moisture can get underneath the litho plate itself, and also you can sometimes find that you've inked up sections of the bed, so it's a good idea to clean up. Before you can print, the next process is to dry your plate. So you can use either the fan or you can use the hairdryer, which is attached to the side of the litho plate. And you'll see the surface of the plate become completely dry. If you don't do this, then when you use the roller across the plate, you'll also pick up that surface moisture, which you'll then apply to your printer. And you don't want to do that. The offset litho press moves backwards over the plate, and when it reaches the right position, the blanket drops down. As it moves across the litho plate, it then picks up the ink and then transfers that to your printed paper. So in this instance, left becomes left. If you're happy with the print, you can now remove the print by lifting the clamp and then replace that print with the next print waiting for that colour to be applied. And so the process is repeated. You'll get used to the number of times that your plate takes to ink up. Obviously, if anything moves in the meantime, then your registration can go off. So making sure that you start off correctly registering your image to the litho plate, and then taking that little bit of care to measure the position of the plate and the position of your print, and ensuring those things are accurate will ensure that you have good results each time. Of course, once you've printed all of your different prints off, you could decide that you've made some mistakes along the way, or you might wish to print the print again in a completely different set of colourways. That's where it's important to learn how to clean your litho plates and prepare them again for another colour. That will be the next video.